Yo guys, how you doing? Welcome to my first video, not first ever video, but first video of this sort, so to say. Let me just preface this by saying I'm no way the best video editor or filmmaker out there, but I just want to give any tips and tricks that I can to you guys, and hopefully you find value out of this. If you're a beginner, that's perfect. You'll probably find something useful in this video. If you're not a beginner, that's fine. Probably this video isn't for you, but if you still want to watch, you might find a bit of a nugget of knowledge or something. If you're watching this on YouTube, please go follow my Instagram account. It's where I do all my videos and my photos, and I even do these tutorials on there too, so if you'd rather watch on there, go follow there. So stick around. If you're watching on IGTV, please go subscribe to my YouTube channel. The link will be in the bio of my profile. Saying that, let's explain what I'm doing today. So, you see a shot of a Lamborghini and you see a drone shot of the ocean. What can this mean? I'm talking about sound design today. The whole use of sound design is to bring your filmmaking to the next level. It's all well and good having clean cuts and clean transitions, but to take it just that step further is to implement audio too. And it's quite a subtle effect, but it really is what sets you apart from so many other filmmakers, so it's really worth putting the time in. And the top filmmakers do this. I'm just going to show you some really basic ones today, but given that, maybe you can go and watch some really great filmmakers and see how they do it and get some inspiration from them, if you don't get any from this video. So let's jump into the timeline. What we've got here is some shots of some cars and some drone shots of the sea, and then it pans up to the Dubai skyline, which is quite faded, but it's okay. So what I'm going to do with this clip is just speed up this panning motion because it's quite slow at the moment. Alright, so now that I've got that, this is how it looks. It's quite rough, not the best, could be a little bit faster, could be a little less jerky, but it's fine. And we're going to jump into the audio bin, and we've got three segments to this. We've got the ocean, we've got the transition, and we've got the skyline, the city. So we want to make this more immersive. That's the whole idea, is to make the viewer think that he or she is in that position. So to begin with, I've got some ocean sounds. Have a quick listen to this. Definitely that'll do. So we're gonna put this over, and already it's making a lot more sense. But as soon as it pans up, it doesn't make too much sense anymore, because the ocean stops being the subject, and it's like, why are we still hearing it? Do they want us to look and think about the ocean? But the answer is no, we want them to be looking and thinking about the Dubai skyline. So what we're gonna do to fill in the space is have like a little whoosh transition that you find in pretty much every YouTube video. So we're gonna grab this one here. I've been looking through these already, and most of them are awful, but this is the best one, and it still isn't great, but it's fine. We're gonna do it for the sake of the video. We're gonna lay that over there. Not bad. What's next is we have a clip, an audio file of city streets and ambient noises. So let's have a quick listen. And it's just sort of people walking around, cars going past, there's even a siren in there. So we're gonna drag that over, put this on. We use the same layer. I'm gonna extend this a bit. And then where we have the transition, we're gonna want these to overlap basically. So we're gonna use a couple of layers, and then we're gonna use the pen tool. And let me just make sure that the volume is on level here. I'm gonna have these both fade out into each other. So it should just change seamlessly as the transition goes. Okay, so that's the bare bone basics. I want to show you one more technique that we can do to implement this to make it sound a lot better. I have this audio file of, it's called Desert Howling Winds, okay? But I mean, how do you distinguish desert winds from normal winds? It's just a windy file, so I'll just use that, drag it in, and we're going to use this for this segment. So here in this file, the focus is the city, but also we want the viewer to think that he's in the position of the drone. So think about what you would hear in this position. You would hear the wind most prominently, and you would hear the city noises in the distance. So we're going to use some layers. Have a listen to this. It works, but it can be better. There's one more technique we can use. So imagine your neighbors are having a party and the music is blaring loud. What do you hear? you don't really hear the high-pitched melodies and lyrics. You hear the really low-frequency bass lines, and that's because the lower frequencies travel further, something to do with the wavelength, and they go through more material too. So from this distance, we would probably only hear the lower frequencies. And there's a brilliant effect within Premiere Pro called Parametric Equalizer, and I'm not sure if this is in like Sony Vegas or the other editing softwares, but hopefully you can find something similar. What we're going to do is take this and drag it onto the clip, the audio clip that is, and then go into our effects panel. And what this displays is the different frequencies. So we've got the highs, the mediums, and the lows. What we're going to do here is reduce the highs and leave it with mainly just the lows playing. And I swear down, this is going to sound 100 times better. Have a listen. Yeah. And it's as simple as that. That was just like, what, 5 minutes of editing? And what you really need to do when you're doing this sort of thing is think about what you might hear, not just in your location, but like where you're looking, in the distance, all these different things. So we could really go in depth here. Have some seagulls maybe because we're at the beach. We could have maybe some kids playing and really build an atmosphere. It might not be in the shot, but you've already got the viewer thinking about it. It's in their mind because they hear it and they don't really question whether it's there or not. They're just like, oh, I hear them, they must be somewhere. So what we're going to do next is try and transition from this view into the city and show off some supercars. So we've got this clip here. It's a McLaren, and then the Lamborghini passes. And then it's a video of the Lamborghini on its own, and then it's a film of both of them. And then it's just a video of the McLaren on its own. So what I'm going to do is this is the order in which I'm going to take it. I'll just do it real quick. So this isn't really the order in which things happen, but this is the order I put them in to make more of a story. So we've got a close-up of the McLaren right here. Then you can see the Lamborghini overtaking. And then you see a shot of the Lamborghini on its own, and then it cuts to them together. It's somewhat of a story, it's fine, it works. So what we're going to do is try and figure out how to transition between this scene and this scene. And what we can do is use audio. It doesn't even have to be any sort of cut between these two shots, because that would be pretty difficult. I mean, to have something visually connecting these two shots is tough. So what we're going to do, we're going to go to our audio bin again, and I've got a couple of audio files of sports cars. Okay, so I've got a few clips here, a few audio clips that I find suitable. The first one is cars racing, but it's more of an F1 sort of feel. Really high speed, but it doesn't match this shot too well because these guys aren't racing. However, we can really build excitement using this shot. So what we're going to do, we're going to use the same parametric equalizing effect. In fact, I'm going to shorten this. We don't want it to be too long. I'll move all these forward a bit. Now this is more of a suitable clip for these shots and these cars. So what we're going to do is layer this where the actual shots start and have this as the anticipation building clip. So we're going to cut it just there, and then we're going to use the same parametric equalizing effect, put it over there, and do the same thing, bring down the highs. And then what we're going to want to do is do a fading sort of transition. Have it start quietly, then build up to when it actually changes. So have a listen to this. And there are the cars. You can already hear them coming, you know what's coming, and the transition makes a lot more sense then. So I just changed around the order of the shots, and I've also extended this and removed in this section the effect we're using. And then what we're going to do is just tone this down as this shot pretty much ends. So right now it's warp stabilizing, just to make sure this is smooth enough for us to use. And then what I'm going to do after that is a speed ramp to have this car pretty much fly past the other one to make it look like they're racing when they're actually not. I can do another video about speed ramps if you want, but just know that I'm speeding up the start and the rest is left as its regular speed. Alright, so that shot looks a lot better. It's like he's racing up and he's passing the McLaren. So have a listen to this from the start of the build-up. is just past the McLaren, and now let's build up the rest of this scene. So we want this clip to be used for the majority of it. So we're gonna have a little fade in effect here, and then we're gonna let it play for the rest of it. In fact, we're gonna use 2 clips of cars, because there's a couple of different cars at play here, so maybe we can just reduce the overall noise of both of them. Let's have a listen. Okay, I'll be honest, this doesn't sound great, but I think that's because of the audio clips I've chosen to use. I'm pretty sure these cars don't make these noises, so that's an issue. But I'm just showing you the editing and the thought process that goes into it. Obviously, you would want to have traffic sounds, you would want to have tires on the road, a bit of wind, and what else? Maybe just some ambient city noises like we did before. So I'm really not going to go that deep. I'm actually going to move on from here. I've shown you the transition and I've added a bit of audio to this scene, but what we're going to do now is bring some music into the play. What I want to do is implement this track into this scene. So I'm going to start playing it. There's a bit of melody and then the beat drops. There's maybe like 8 bars of melody before the beat drops, but what we want to do is maybe cut half of that and have the beat drop when the scene changes. Yeah. The producer shouts himself out, so that's fine. Overall, pretty good beat. Alright, so what we're going to do is find the exact point in which the beat drops, which is right there. I'm just going to make a cut, and I'm also going to delete the melody, but it's fine, it's coming back, don't worry. So the cut between the scenes is right here. We're going to line this up along the cut, and then we're going to extend it back and bring back the melody. So right now what it sounds like is pretty good, but it can be better. Okay, so the main thing that's sticking out to me now is the cars are actually making a lot of noise, and the beat is getting lost, which is prominently what we want. We want the beat to be the main focus. So now what we're going to do, that the transition is created, the second scene is created, could be better, but it's created, we're going to cut the second scene to this beat. So what you want to do is go and look at the wave format of the audio file and just have a listen. We're going to do it really basic. We don't have that much footage. We've got 4 clips and we want to sort of clip and chop it to this beat. So let's listen. So editing the video just now, I've realized that my recording cut off about halfway, maybe like the 20-minute mark or something, so I guess that's what I get for taking too long. So I'll just explain what I was doing. I was cutting the clips to the beat, and I feel like this isn't too important, so I'm not going to redo this segment because I feel like a lot of people will understand it. So I'll just show you like what I created here. It's nothing special, but if you go and look at my other videos, I try and push the boundaries, try and do some interesting, crazy stuff along to the beat. What I think is like, you need to have the beat first before you even start the video. There's no point making the cuts because when the beat comes in, you need to reorder it all. Not only does the beat give the vibe to the video, but it's the complete framework in which you have to cut around. That's what I was going to go on to explain, but I'll leave it out. If you found any value in this, please give the video a like or do whatever you do on IGTV. I don't know, maybe you can like it on there too. This is my first IGTV video, so we'll see. If you're watching this on IGTV, please subscribe to my YouTube. The link is in the bio of my Instagram description. If you're watching this on YouTube, please head over to my Instagram and give it a follow. That's where I post most of my videos and photos and all such good stuff like that. Thank you for watching, ladies and gents. I hope you learned something here today, and I'm going to leave you with the video that we created just now.